I feel like Nashville versus Austin is a little bit like wanting to go pro and going to like a big D1 school where you have the best person from every single town who's the best at that goes to the same place to do the same thing. And I'm sure I could have found my way, but Austin, which I always thought was, you know, at least how I thought about it, was this place that you could genuinely go and be a working musician and figure out what you wanted to do. And because in Austin, there's way less of that shot that there is in Nashville of you playing a gig and then someone coming up to you and being like, you know, I'm actually an A&R rep for Warner and I saw you play and, you know, I liked the way you did that, you know, fucking Morgan Walmart cover. And it's, you know, and that kind of like, there's so much less of that. So you don't gear your set towards, oh, I better play it safe and play this because someone out there might recognize me. You just do what's genuine to you.
Sure.
And having lived in Austin, I feel like it's a really cool thing that people aren't making music to try and make it. They're making music that they want to make.
Welcome back to another episode of Pints and Professionals, where I, your host, Ramon Mejia, interview interesting people in interesting industries. Today on the show, we have Jac Carson, an Austin, Texas musician who's thriving right here in Austin, Texas. Today's episode, we discover bookers, you know, the people who book the shows for the artist and the venue. We discuss the Pittsburgh Steelers and how they are, I guess, a pretty good organization. And we discuss Pokemon. It's a wildly entertaining episode thanks to Jac and his ever-wandering mind. Ever-wandering mind to good things. Anyways, without further ado, here's Jac. On?
I would say I have a bone to pick with you too.
Oh, really?
Well,
Why?
some people would say that since the technical name of the band is Jac with no K, maybe I should be more...
what did I say?
Jac with a C.
Jac with a C.
It's technically correct.
Jac with a C.
Well, all those people out there who go from podcasts to without looking at who's on it written out, like just audio, who then immediately go on Spotify to try and type it in, they would get confused.
Oh, okay. So this is your
It's a big part
podcast
of
now.
the
So
it's
you
my
go.
podcast.
Let's. Yeah.
Welcome.
Don't you ever fucking invite me on stage ever again.
Okay, fair.
I like my.
You don't like to be on
my
stage?
testicles went deep inside my body when I've been in some pretty scary situations.
I didn't think you
was not fun.
Oh,
no, I didn't have a good time.
If I had known you didn't like it, I wouldn't have said
No,
something.
I'm kidding. It was just very, very shocking because
Yeah, I thought you'd be more mad about the fact that I'm like, hey, come through, take some pictures, it'll be fun. And then
Meanwhile, you got your own
there,
media
and there were
crew.
2 other photographers
I'm like, what the hell, Jac?
who I didn't know would be there.
No,
but they're
no,
also
to
good
be
friends
fair.
of mine.
Yeah,
Did you get
no.
a chance to meet them?
I've met Eric.
Oh, you know Eric.
first.
Eric's
I met
the best.
Yeah, I met
wonderful.
Kia.
Shout out Eric Booth.
Yeah, shout out.
Kia.
I met Kia at another shoot at Far Out Lounge.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so we chatted up a bit. And
Inside or outside or big stage?
Outside was probably inside. It was way too loud. So
Okay.
yeah, it was definitely outside.
Oh, okay.
I know, had a good time. You did very well.
Oh, hey, thanks.
How long have you been working on that Peak Pony song?
Oh, yeah,
Like,
my new hit. I wrote that.
Because when
I
you
did write that. I wrote it for the Emmys this past year.
I know. It
got robbed.
Seemed to. They didn't get the nom?
No.
Oh man, that sucks. No, when you played it so well at Rustic Tap that one night, and you even the joke part, I'm like, oh, that sounds really really good. And then I started, wait, hold on, I've heard this song before. Let me look up the lyrics. I'm not too familiar with Chappell Roan, so
yeah,
I just know she
she's
caused
all right.
mass panic at ACL this year, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. Real quick, I want to say brought to you by Waterloo.
They're not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor yet.
No, not yet. But if we can only get
they're attainable. It's more than Bud Light.
yeah, that's true. I feel like
Well, then again, like they've got to have money they can just throw away.
they do.
Like what
they
would giving
did.
you? They did. They sure did.
One of my favorite comedians is sponsored by them, and he kind of like helped resurrect that brand.
Yeah.
Him and weirdly Kid Rock.
Oh.
because he had like a machine.
Pretty non-controversial.
Yeah, I
guy.
know. He had like a machine gun display of how he felt about Bud Light, and
That's cool.
I
Did
never
you
really.
know Kid Rock,
honestly,
not actually Kid or Rock.
Yeah, well, you still rocked a little bit back in the
No, he
heyday.
rocks.
Oh, Jesus
sure.
Christ! I'm so distracted right now. I had so many
related
things.
to the Rock cousins.
You think he is?
Yeah, they're not. They're not blood related, but there's more than one way to make a family, Ramon.
Okay.
I'm kind of shocked at your ignorance.
I boy howdy, if you only took one look inside of my brain and what I don't know. Litmus test. Litmus how do you say
It's
that?
ligmus test.
Ligmus?
Yeah,
I don't think that's right
balls.
either. Either way, a true test of your character. When you go to the grocery store
Yeah.
and
It's usually
there's no
H-E-B.
one bagging your groceries,
Yeah.
do you bag them yourself or do you let the cashier bag them for you? Be honest.
I mean, if they're not doing it, the job has to get done, and I'll do it. But I will wait and look at them and look at the thing. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll do it eventually. I won't like make them call someone over for me. Now, when you go to a grocery store and no one's bagging your groceries because you're in the self-checkout, how many items do you steal?
I think I don't steal. I've accidentally not paid for
Accidentally.
it was cilantro, which is like 5 cents.
Yeah.
And then I ended up using like half of it and had to throw the rest away because
I'll steal sparkling waters from H-E-B almost every week.
How?
You just put them on the bottom of your cart.
You're that person?
Well,
All
it's
right,
just
Jack,
the
this is
sparkling
not
waters.
going
Listen,
where I thought it was
I
going.
think this is going
All right.
great.
Anyways,
This is good podcasting.
What?
Listen, I do band practice in my house every week. All my bandmates drink the sparkling water.
Yeah.
If I bought them, they'd be gone immediately.
Do they replenish?
No.
For you?
They don't replenish.
What a bunch of
They don't
jerks.
replenish. They don't restock. They just drink the waters and then they leave. It's why.
Yeah, that's
It's part of why I don't have juices. They'd just be gone. Just pouring big cups of juice like
man.
they pay rent.
Juice is it's bad for you. It's just the juice. Get
Well, I said
fruit.
that.
Okay. A
It's
grocery,
just what big
the grocery
fruit wants you
cart.
to think.
Are you leaving it at the curb or are you returning it
God,
to
no. That is
Okay.
the biggest
All
scumbag
right, we can
move
be
in the
friends
world.
again.
People, is this looking at me?
It's looking at us.
Can I see?
I mean, you can lean over.
Okay, I can
Yeah.
see. Yeah. Should I move over?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Please stay.
You wanna be
keep your,
closer?
no, it's all right. Please keep your distance.
Yeah. If you don't put your grocery cart back, you don't deserve to shop at a grocery store.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. That's just like, let's be
But
humans
not in the
here.
cool, rich way where people just have their groceries delivered now.
Have you ever done that before?
No.
Or, I think it's just too expensive and dumb.
It's so expensive. Real fact, I have never used DoorDash.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
I was broke during COVID.
Oh, well, yeah.
And then I was like doing music and Uber, and I just started doing real estate up in Philly.
Oh, okay.
And it
Go
was
Birds.
like 2019. Yeah, go Birds. I mean, I'm a Steelers fan, but I am rooting. This comes out after the Super Bowl.
No, this comes out probably tonight or tomorrow.
Oh, really? That
Yeah.
quick? I didn't
Yeah.
realize you're.
Yeah, I'm-
good for you.
well,
who are you?
it's one of those
Freaking
things-
Jamie, just mega producer, just.
I'm just
I don't
trying
know his
to
last
make
name.
sure it's easy for me to pump these out. There's not a whole lot of editing, or at least there shouldn't be, Jack.
We'll
Don't
see.
say anything terrible. But yeah, I try to pump these out pretty quick because I got a lot of shit to do. And it's
you got
weird.
stuff.
I want to talk to you about being an artist.
Oh, no, thank you.
Do you get...
I prefer
this
to
is
talk
oh
about
my
the Birds
God.
versus
Listen,
the Chiefs.
what are you professional in? Commentating on
Oh.
sports? Or
Oh, I see.
how do you, so, because if you were professional in commenting on sports, that's what I taught you.
I do
about.
well, you know what? You come to some daytime shows at Friends, it will seem like most of what I do is talk to the crowd about sports. It's
That's
real.
You play
Hey,
the
noon to 3.
yeah,
Mondays,
I was gonna say noon to
Thursdays.
3. What?
Yeah.
How? Why?
Why?
Yeah. Is there
What
like
else
a
am I
lunch?
gonna do noon
Oh,
to
that's
3?
true. Is there like a lunch crowd that can at least pop
A
in?
little bit. It's a
Okay.
little
All right.
Thursday crowd. If
There's foot traffic.
Look,
there.
here's the thing. I'm only saying this because their kitchen's in flux a little bit right now. The food has always been awesome. I think that if they simplified the menu and lowered the prices, they would get a genuine lunch crowd from
Okay.
around their end.
I didn't know
The
they
problem
served lunch.
is, the food's really good at Friends. The problem is it's pricey like everything on that kind of
Yeah.
strip, right?
Yeah.
So you're down near the Driscoll, you're near that terrible bar Eureka, and you're kind of pricing towards that because it's a lot of tourists. It's
Sure.
not a lot of people just who are from Austin walking down 6, although there's some. But I think that if they price pointed their menu to be a little more like you ever go to Fraser's?
Yes, I love Fraser's.
Fraser's great.
Great burger.
Yeah,
Great
and their
chopped cheese.
The chopped cheese is $6.
Yeah, it's
Burgers,
very affordable.
$5 or something.
A beer
Like,
is like $2 to $3.
yeah,
They have
if
very
they,
great
and I'm
specials.
not saying they can do all the liquor and beer and stuff like that. I understand they have rent to pay. That's on, right on the edge of dirty. It's expensive. It's a whole different business model, right?
Yeah.
But that's not part of what the kitchen factors into. That's like a totally separate thing for them. If they did those kind of price points where it was like local friendly instead of catering towards tourists and stuff, I genuinely think they would have a lunch crowd every day because there's nowhere else downtown except for P. Terry's and Jimmy John's that you can get lunch for like $10.
Yeah.
I mean, really, there's nowhere in Austin.
It's
for $10.
It's pretty expensive.
Yeah,
That's why
annoying.
I eat at home now.
Yeah,
But
which you can come to his home.
and
$10 a meal.
We'll get you fed up.
That's right. You make soup.
Do you
Let's talk
ever
about
get
soups,
last minute?
Ramon.
I know. Do you ever get last minute jobs, like last minute gigs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes.
I just got one today, and I was debating on
Congrats.
whether I should go or not. And we're trying to figure out deliverables, and I'm like, it's going to be a lot of work, but the connection there, it seems like it's going to be worth the time invested.
Sure.
Like price is okay, but the time invested and the people, hopefully that I'll meet, seems worth it. So when it comes to like last minute gigs, what are your thoughts? Just like, I'm not doing anything. I'll go play to potential crowd or what? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing for me. My attitude with music is always like, if you're playing live and you can do it as a job, there's nothing really anyone can say about it.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
So that said, and there was more of this when I was first starting off, but I still have the same kind of mentality. Like, you say yes if you can. If you're not booked and you can play, then play. The only factor a little bit comes in with like, because I sing so much and I've just in the last few months become a better singer and understand my voice a little better, I have to take care of it a little more.
Okay. Yeah.
So part of that is like, hey, if I just played like, 6 days in a row and I'm feeling worn and I have, this one rest day before I start it all back again, maybe I'll say no to something on that one rest day.
Yeah.
But it's also part of that would be, okay, I know money's coming in from all these other things.
Sure.
And it's just different. But I mean, I've played places that are, for 2 people last minute and, I get like, $100 or something, but like that adds up. That's how you get rent. That's how you keep going.
Yep.
You can't be sitting here, calling yourself a working musician if you're not working.
Yeah, that's very true. I did enjoy that set at Rustic Tap 2 nights ago. It was very fun to watch you guys.
Or at
it was
Austin Garden.
No. Well, the
Or
one
the
before
solo one.
Rustic Tap.
Yeah,
with
Rustic.
the song swap.
Yeah.
So
Well, that was a week ago. That's why I got confused.
Was it a week ago?
Yeah.
Holy
It's
shit.
last Wednesday. That's why I got confused. Shout out Rustic.
Yeah.
And
shout
Friends
out.
and Austin Garden, all places we've mentioned in the last moment.
I'll ask that question later. When did you get your start in music? When did you start playing?
Well, I mean, I've been playing music my whole life, but like everyone else, it was like, oh, you start piano because your mom wants you to start piano.
Holy shit, really?
Yes.
Oh.
So many people do it.
Dude,
when you're, like, a
yeah,
little
there's
kid.
been other musicians on here
Yeah.
who's like, yeah, my parents really wanted me to play piano and I hated it, but I did it anyway.
That's everyone. That's
and then
everyone's
years later, they're
first
like, oh,
thing.
thanks.
Yeah, no, I mean literally, but that's everyone's first thing with music. It's like starting a story with, oh, how was your day? Well, I woke up. That's how every day starts.
You play in the church?
No, it's funny too. I am like a religious, spiritual guy, and I've never done church gigs, and I want to. I just
Really?
don't know where.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to. I get paid to go to church instead of having to like force myself to go late.
Catholic? Christian?
Yeah,
Dude.
that explains all the shame that was just in my voice.
Yeah. Why
Yeah.
is that? Why are us Catholics just riddled with shame from the
I
get-go?
don't know. It's got to be effective. I mean, Scoreboard Man's been around 2,000 years. Like, all these little Protestants can have all their cool mega churches.
I know.
But, we outlast empires. So shame's got to be effective somehow, right? I do think, if there's an actual answer, I do think that there is some merit to it. I think there is an idea of like, if you go deeper, which for me is a lot about Catholicism, is not about the surface, it's about the next level down. But it's not that your spiritual life filling you with shame is a necessarily good thing, but it is the idea of an innate and quick, responsive self-reflection when you are living in sin, not in the idea of how we talk about sin now, but in the original sort of translation of sin being like missing the mark. It was like an archery term kind of. Mm-hmm. And so it's not this idea of sin being you did something bad. It's this idea of you not going where you're supposed to go.
Yeah.
So it's that idea of you just innately feel something off, like you know, like your car wobbles on the lane or something like that. It doesn't mean that you can't keep driving forward and get to your destination, and just, you know, jolt you a little bit.
Yeah. I think that it's seeped into every aspect of my life, even when I'm chopping up like Instagram reels.
Oh yeah.
Like the thought of how people are going to interpret this reel, but if I cut out this one little segment, then they're going to think about it in a different light. And it's very
interesting.
It's very time consuming.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just wish I didn't care.
Yeah. No, it's tough. I mean, it's hard to not care what people think, especially on anything relating to social media. But as long as you're proud of what you're doing, you know,
yeah,
not much more you can do about that then.
Are you Austin native?
No, I'm from Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, that's right.
Yeah. Let's go Steelers. 10-7, baby.
Well, at least they made the playoffs with Russell Wilson.
We sure did.
It's better than
not. That's what I keep telling people, you know, who want Tomlin fired and they want everything cleared out. Like, I don't think people realize this is a big thing in Pittsburgh. This is very niche. And I don't know how much of your audience is Pittsburgh people.
Brother-in-law is a diehard Pittsburgh fan. Like,
right, well,
he's been for
I don't
like
know where he
past
stands with
30 years.
Tomlin, but
I don't think he likes him very much.
Yeah, listen, I get it, and I get the frustration. I do. I understand that it's been like 8 years since we won a playoff game. You know why I understand that? Because I watch every game, and I love the NFL, and I love the Steelers more. But like, people do not realize how badly things could go, and probably will go, if we just get rid of Tomlin without a real plan. Because there are other franchises that are just never really good and can never get it together, at least in modernity speaking. So like, you think of the Browns, you think of the Raiders, like just teams that like can get
the Dallas
lucky.
Cowboys.
I mean, kind of, the Cowboys are funny, but yeah, I mean, kind of the Cowboys, but like you know, there are these disaster franchises, and we're not that, but there are franchises that forever were stalwarts of like, this is how you run an organization. They can do no wrong. Even if they're down, they're never out, that kind of thing. And the best example is the New York Giants. And they have been the worst team for the past decade since they fired Tom Coughlin. And Tom Coughlin was an old coach that they had forever, got them to Super Bowls, won Super Bowls, but they're like, oh, his way's too old. He's tired. We need to get him out. And then they hired like...
I can't remember the name.
God, what was his name? Ben McAdoo. And he was this... Can I swear? Of course I can.
I just swore. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. He was this fat fuck of a guy, and he had this stupid little mustache.
Oh, you can't say the F word.
Yeah.
We're body positive
yeah,
over
that's
here.
Right. And the only thing he ever did that was notable was bench Eli Manning for one game in the middle of the season to break the streak that Eli Manning would have had for most consecutive starts. Because Eli Manning never missed a game to injury in his whole career. And then right in the middle of it is one benching. And they went back to him the next week. So all he did was like ruin Eli Manning's like stat, who's their greatest quarterback of all time. Then they hire Joe Judge, who's the Patriots special team coordinator, who did as bad as every other coach that ever came from the Patriots. And then they hired someone else before they hired Brian Daboll, the Bills guy, who's their coach now, who they had a different GM with him too. And so you have all these bad decisions that kind of culminate, and they give Daniel Jones this huge contract after he throws 15 touchdowns in a season. That was what got him a contract instead of Saquon. They don't sign Saquon, and Saquon goes on to have maybe the greatest season a running back's ever had, inarguably top 3. And I would rather keep being good in building something the way the Steelers build something, because it's not like we're just treading water. We're treading water knowing that we can finish the race because we've done it before. Like, I don't want to go through a hard rebuild because I watch every game, and I would rather, like, if the choices were, hey, you're going to be in a Super Bowl in the next 3 years, but in the next 4 years, but the next 3 years are going to be terrible, and everything's going to break apart. And then maybe you'll get to one. Like, maybe you'll like do a Lions kind of recovery where it's quick, or Washington. Or the idea is, hey, we are going to keep doing what we're doing, and within the next, 8 years, 10 years, we'll get into a Super Bowl. I'd rather do that. I would rather always be good because we're always good, and we have the most Super Bowls of any team ever. Tied with the Pats. But we didn't cheat for ours. We might have cheated in the 70s. Do you think steroids are cheating?
No.
Then we definitely didn't cheat, because that's the only thing you can say about 1970s football is that probably a lot of people were on steroids.
Probably.
Like,
I
all
think
the
they all
linemen.
were. Like, that was
Tough game.
if everyone was doing it, that's fine. I don't care. It's
You like baseball?
I think baseball is okay. I used to be a Dodger fan, but
Are you
it seems
from
like
Cali?
I am from California, Southern. Grew up there. I know. Get out.
Just kidding.
I'm from Southern
kidding.
California. Grew up in West Texas, as I like to say.
Nice. Like The Rookie.
Oh yes, yeah.
Dennis
It was
Quaid?
out of Big Lake. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good movie. I
Big
need to
Lake,
rewatch
separate
that
from
one.
Westlake or South Lake.
Yep. No, that's impressive. You know that. You're a big sports guy. I had
I
no
like
idea.
sport. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a big sports guy. I mean, I'm
You just
I'm
went
way
on a
big
fucking rant that
NFL.
I've never heard of before, or I never heard that version.
Yeah.
Did you know that? So do you know what teams have paid for their own stadiums versus teams that have used the city to?
Oh, I mean, almost all of
all
them,
of them?
I think.
I learned about that last night, and I totally
not-
forgot about it.
Not all of them. One very notable exception,
New England Patriots.
Jerry Jones.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No
Built
fucking
AT&T
way.
with all his own money.
No shit.
So he doesn't have to split
I'm-
anything with the city.
We're gonna have to fact check that.
I am. All right.
Not right now. We're not right now. No. I'll
No, you can
I'll
just clip in
okay.
like a
Jerry Jones.
what is it, the little cat that's like hanging in there, like when TVs used to go to.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
You're talking about Clippy. Are you sure about that? Yeah, sure.
Did Jerry Jones fund AT?
I don't think he did.
I think he did, and that was like a big thing that he did because he didn't want to. Do you know what I'm talking about though? With the it's like old TV segments. They used to do the
I'm familiar.
yeah, and it was like the little cat would
sure.
be hanging and be like,
Yeah, for whatever reason, I just kept thinking about Clippy, the paper clip
it's
that would
not
come out.
Clippy.
Like, hey, do you need
Don't
help
bring up
writing
Clippy.
this? You got a lot of trauma from Clippy.
Yeah,
A lot of
Clippy
teachers.
stole my girlfriend.
How long does it take to find this answer? We live in 2025.
I'm getting a lot of different things. I'll try the stupid AI assist. I hate these. I hate the ones that are just like.
How did Jerry Jones pay for AT&T Stadium? I can tell you that because AT&T paid for it because they slapped
they
the
gave him
name
a
on
lot,
it.
sure.
Yeah.
All right, so
it went
here's
from
what
like
it
Cowboy
was.
Stadium to AT&T
So
Stadium.
Arlington gave him $325 million for the $1.3 billion stadium. So what it was he put up $1 billion.
Okay.
I am wrong. I'm a little
You're a
righter
little right.
than most
Sure.
places. I am on the side of like billionaires should build their own stadium. It's not that like if cities want to do like what Arlington did and contribute something through like bonds and stuff like that, I get that. But when owners are like Jerry Jones, I can't imagine ever at any point really was like, well, I guess I'll just move the Cowboys to Vegas. That
Sure.
like, he was never going to leave. When owners do that and they threaten to leave if they don't get a stadium, it just makes me sick.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you
Holding the
already get
city
to
and
own a team.
fan hostage.
Yeah, you own the team. It's I hate the Crafts and I hate the Patriots, but like he put it really well once in an interview where he said that he considers owning the Patriots being a custodian of a public good. And I think that's a really good way to look at owning a sports team, because it should not just be a money-making enterprise like it is for some owners, specifically the frickin' hillbilly thief that owns the Pittsburgh Pirates, who needs to sell because everybody loves the Pirates and they have been so bad since he bought them because he just will not spend money. And like baseball's a tough one to have a poor owner, but if you're going to be a poor owner, then you have to invest sometimes when things are right. And we just got the most ace pitcher of ace pitchers. We finally have like some good players, but like I just know he's going to trade them off. He always does.
It sounds like it's
Mark Cuban apparently wanted to buy the Pirates.
well, it sounds like the Pirates are like living out Major League the
It's
movie.
a little bit like that.
The
yeah.
movie.
Ironically,
The owner just hates the
that was
team
the
and wants
Reds,
to sell it.
I think, or the Indians.
It was the Indians.
Yeah,
I think they're called
a rival
what,
of the Pirates.
What are they called now?
Guardians.
Guardians. The Guardians of Cleveland. That
It's
sucks.
a stupid name. And
Yeah.
they also, here's the thing. You want to change the name, fine. I understand why they changed the mascot. The Chief Wahoo was not a great looking mascot.
What was it?
They changed the
But
logo.
hold on.
And everything was kind of fine. There were
Do you-
no one was protesting that they should change the name Indians, and then they did, mostly as a money making.
Do you think that the logo was not great because someone said it wasn't great, or do you think it was just a hideous design?
I see why. Okay, so here's my take. So I have two sides of my family, my mom and my dad's. My mom's family, all from Cleveland, huge Cleveland sports people. My dad's side of the family, originally he's from Ohio, but his parents were from Virginia. So my grandpa was like a diehard Skins fan. And you look at the controversies that kind of happened between the Washington Redskins and the Cleveland Indians, right? And they were different things because the people were offended by the Redskins name, but not really the logo. The logo was not super offensive, and it was actually just a portrait of an actual native chief.
Right.
The Indians logo, their name is not innately offensive unless you're very, very easily offended.
Right.
But the logo, once kind of pointed out, is, you could argue, a little too caricature-y.
Yeah.
For maybe like the 2020s, but they changed it to a C. But now they're the Guardians. And here's the thing about the Guardians. They could have chosen many other names.
Yeah.
A lot cooler names. The Spiders was a cool name.
Spiders are not cool.
You don't like the Spiders?
No. Small little
Well, we have
things.
nothing to talk about. I actually hate spiders. But I don't know. Guardians was stupid, and they maybe stole the logo from the roller hockey team there. Or what's the one that women play? Roller derby.
Roller derby.
And it was a trademark logo, and they maybe stole it. So that's not cool. So you were asking me something about being an artist?
Yeah, I don't know. Wow, that was a wild tangent.
Yeah.
We just interstellar that one.
I know. And that
we were
was
trying
just,
to go around
That was
I was trying to go around
football and baseball.
Yeah, I was trying to go
I don't even
around
like baseball.
Gargantuan.
Yeah, maybe.
That's
the next word?
That was the.
In
planet?
Interstellar,
Yeah,
the black
I was trying to
hole
go
thing.
around it because
Oh,
the black
see.
hole was sports, and I could
That's
see we were
right.
taking a nosedive
I
into
can
that.
go.
And then somehow you Matt Damon me into getting to that black
Sure
hole.
did. It was a good movie.
What it was really
a great
sad.
movie.
I watched that on Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the second time, and I was like, man,
Ever?
this movie's sad. Yeah,
It's a great movie.
it is.
It is sad.
I didn't get it, and I don't like sad movies that I don't get.
Oh,
So
fair.
I'll probably watch it a third time. And
That's fair.
well,
Do you ever
go ahead.
watch the you ever do any like kind of research into like the different dimensions, planes of existence, that kind of thing?
Brother, I live on one planet and one planet only. I have so many other things that I need to research. That's the last on my mind.
I'll send you one video,
Oh,
and for any listeners out there who maybe know, it was something I came across in high school, and it was great. It's like a 10-minute video. You'll
link
like
in
it.
the bio
It's easy.
or up here.
Link in the bio.
Yeah.
And that's where you put the thing. I'll point.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, it's called the 10 dimensions, and it's really easily explained. But it's like theoretical physics broken down. But that's like a big part of understanding Interstellar, is understanding that. But it's basically the idea of like in 30 seconds that you understand like 1 dimension, 2 dimension, 3 dimension. We live in a 3-dimensional world, obviously.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But with each dimension that gets added, it's another thing that's perceived in a linear fashion without being able to control. So if we were in a 2-dimensional world, that was just because it's length, width, height is the 3 dimensions.
That would suck.
So 2 dimensions would be length and height, but no width. So there's no depth, right? So anything that is depth just appears kind of like 2-dimensional, obviously. But since we live in 3 dimensions, we're able to kind of manipulate width. So the 4th dimension being time, basically the idea is that we perceive time linearly and there's nothing we can do to break that. If we were 4-dimensional beings, then time becomes something that's a little more like something you can move around and manipulate. Okay. Which is kind of the idea of Interstellar, is this idea of like when you get out of the 3-dimensional world we're in, and that's like what all the chords were that he was seeing were like different moments of time that he can freely pass between, which is how he was able to go back and try and stop himself from.
And he's playing the guitar strings.
Yeah, exactly. And then the beings that he saw, those ethereal things, would be either 4th or 5th dimensional beings, not constrained by time, who are able to, which is why they're able to do things like open up a black hole at the one moment they need to for humanity
to save itself.
To save itself.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That was way easier than reading the IMDb that I was going down. Wow. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
My buddy also tried to explain it last night as well.
Correct explanation.
I think you're spot on by my professional opinion in physics.
This coffee is very hot.
What music do you like playing?
Oh, I don't like music. I only like podcasts.
Fuck off. I know you like music. I heard you play Chapel Roan.
Yeah, that was fun. I don't know. I love playing blues music. It's why I moved to Austin initially. I thought I was going to be like a...
Why did you move to Austin?
Why not
Nashville?
I always wanted to move to Austin. Oh, why not Nashville?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a little story, believe it or not. So basically... I always wanted to try and do music as a career at some point. Didn't go to school for it, which is fine. I went to school we'll be right back.
No, keep going.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Keep going?
Yeah.
Right now? This whole time while you were delaying? Maybe I'll have a beer in a moment.
Okay.
So I'd always wanted to be a musician. And when you want to do that, there's really kind of 4 main cities for it. There's New York, LA, Nashville, Austin. At least that's how I always thought about it. And I never wanted to go to New York. New York, it's just, it's expensive. It's way too expensive. And the same thing with LA, where it's like, it's not that they're music cities. It's just that that's where like media stuff is, right? So I never really wanted to do that because I felt like you couldn't actually be a real working musician. And that left Nashville and Austin. Okay. And when I was in college, I met a guy. His name is Vinny Paolizzi. Shout out. Who's a great up and coming country singer. Up country.
He's coming up country.
He's a great singer songwriter. In Nashville, and I was in his band for about a year and a half. I was his lead guitarist, and then he moved to Nashville, and there was a little part of me that was like, maybe I'll move too. And I'm like, no, I'll stay in Philly. I'll do my own thing. And then the year after that, I had some of my best friends from Pittsburgh who I was in a band with.
What year was that?
2018 or 2017.
All right.
So then
you had friends.
So then a year later, my best friends from Pittsburgh, who I was in a band with in high school, shout out November Blue. That's their new band. Brody and John. They
did you ever tour with Blue October?
No, they should though. They moved to Nashville the year after, and there was a little part of me like, okay, maybe now I'll move to Nashville, and I'm like, no, I don't want to move to Nashville. And then I decided then that I was never going to just move to Nashville without a real reason to. Like, unless someone was like, we love your songs, we want to sign you, we're going to give you a publishing contract, but you have to move here. Or if someone's like, love the way you play, come be in my band, we're based in Nashville though, so you have to move here. Unless it was something with a real reason, I wasn't just going to be another guy moving to Nashville. Also because I feel like Nashville versus Austin is a little bit like wanting to go pro and going to like a big D1 school where you have the best person from every single town who's the best at that goes to the same place to do the same thing. And it's a little bit like if you want to go pro and you go to Ohio State and then your competition is everyone who does the same thing that you do really, really well. And nothing that I did or that I do well is better than how other people do it in Nashville.
That makes
like
sense.
I don't have that like flawless country voice. I'm a good guitarist, I'm a good songwriter, but it's not in the way that at least at the time, I understood that I would need to be to kind of make it there. And I'm sure I could have found my way, but Austin, which I always thought was, at least how I thought about it, was this place that you could genuinely go and be a working musician and figure out what you wanted to do. And because in Austin, there's way less of that shot that there is in Nashville of you playing a gig and then someone coming up to you and being like, I'm actually an A&R rep for Warner and I saw you play and, I liked the way you did that, fucking Morgan Walmart cover. And it's, and that kind of like, there's so much less of that. So you don't gear your set towards, oh, I better play it safe and play this because someone out there might recognize me. You just do what's genuine to you.
Sure.
And having lived in Austin, I feel like it's a really cool thing that people aren't making music to try and make it. They're making music that they want to make.
That's a great answer. That's a great inside perspective too. Nashville does feel a little like they're catering to a certain genre.
For sure.
In all the bars.
Well, they
that
are.
Into.
That's all country music.
And that's why I'm like, I like the music. It's a cool vibe, but I don't know if I would, pop it on my Spotify playlist and listen to it. That's
not my thing. But also, it's also something. It's a little, just to use my metaphor from before. It is also a little bit of like, being like, oh, I'm glad I didn't go to Ohio State. I'm going to make it here at some other school. I can't even think now. Like, oh, I went to Stanford instead so I could really stand out or something. It's also, I don't think I would have started at Ohio State. Like that, you know what I mean? Where it's like, I think I have a shot and a path in Austin. I don't think that same one would exist in Nashville because I cannot compete the way I would need to up there. The only thing I think I could do is maybe if I got on someone's good side, I could be someone's guitarist or I could be someone's songwriter. But I like my voice. I like how I perform. I like everything like that. But it's nothing that people are looking for in that city. It's simply not polished and good enough for that. Although my favorite band ever is My Morning Jacket, and they're technically from Nashville. So shout out because they're not a Nashville sound.
Are they originally from Nashville or did they move there?
I don't know. Let's check. We'll be right back.
No, we don't have to check it. I don't care. Jack White was from Detroit and moved to Nashville to start his own label there.
He sure did. Third Man Records.
And so I think
they're from Louisville.
Oh, cool story.
Shout out Louisville.
Jack.
I hope you put in the...
this is very... I said limited editing for a reason because of how busy I am.
Yeah, no, I get that.
What is the economy here as a musician like? What venues are... where's the musician going to get the most money for playing a show?
The most money?
Yeah. I don't know. Is it booking your own shows? Okay, private shows.
Yeah, I mean, booking for your own shows for sure is helpful. There's a lot of... What I think is great is, at least in my experience, a lot of the booking people in and around Austin get paid by venues to be bookers. So they're not taking cuts of like artist pay.
Sure.
Which is good. Some people, not going to say names, Tammy Miranda does both, but I've never worked with Tammy Miranda. So I've never met her. So I can't say whether or not she's nice or completely untrustworthy and has a terrible reputation in town.
Oh, no.
Because I've never met her. And I've never worked with her, and I don't really think I need to. But she's someone, by reputation, gets paid both by the venues and then also takes a cut of the artist pay.
Huh.
Some people, now don't know if that's true because I've never worked with him.
Sure.
Some people would say that if that were
controversy.
true, that would be a sneaky snake-like thing to do.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that's not the case. Because imagine operating in town for that long and everyone knows that you're kind of an underhanded person. Yeah. I just can't imagine someone
drama
that
in my
long.
podcast. I
There's
don't
no
know.
drama.
I kind of like it.
There's no drama. I don't know this person.
I think we need to stir up some.
I just have.
We need to stir up some drama.
Many friends who have worked with someone.
Oh,
like that.
okay.
If that's
Cool.
even her name,
I'll
Tammy Miranda.
I'll invite her on the podcast next to have some long conversations.
I bet she
We need to
doesn't know
stir up some
sports
drama
like
in the
me.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
I don't like
I heard
that.
Nico Little is talking shit.
Yeah, he does
about
talk
you.
shit. I'll talk shit about him.
He was like,
I just gonna say I don't talk shit, but I'll
he was like,
talk shit about Nico.
Jac's chord progressions are just mid. I'm
What does he
kidding.
know
He
about
would
chord
never say
progressions?
that.
No,
he
I
would
know.
never say.
Go write
but-
a song about a train.
So, in regards,
no one's done that. No, I'm just kidding.
he's
I
right.
like Nico. We were just here. Like what? 2 weeks ago.
It was. Yeah, I'll never invite you guys back. That was so
fun.
fucking stressful.
You had a great time.
I had a good time.
You had
Not
fun.
gonna lie. It was fun.
The video
It was
came
great.
out well.
It turned out okay.
We did, for those of listening who weren't here, which
we
would
can't
be,
talk about it. It's not out yet. He doesn't have a date.
I don't care.
Let's just say Jac was a great director. Back to the economy question.
Okay, first of all, Nico has a
Stop
song coming out soon.
Yeah.
And we did promo work for it, and they were funny sketches.
Yeah. Okay, you could say that. It's
Yeah.
fine.
He'll be fine. This isn't going to mess up anything.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But that Tammy
Go see him play.
girl, whoa.
Yeah, we
no,
don't-
back to the economy question.
I want to give a real shout out to people I do work with who are nice, because I work with Pearl Snap Booking. It's Julie Nolan and Will Southern, and they are as professional and as kind and as wonderful of people that you can work with as I've ever met. And they book all around town. So if you go to like Rustic Tap, that's their bands that they book for.
Oh, okay.
Or if you go down to like Idle Hands on Rainy and stuff like that, or if you go to Armadillo
Good
Den,
spot. Yep.
that's all Pearl Snap Booking. And they do such an amazing job around town. They work with great venues. They work with great artists. And that's why when you go to these places, every band is good.
Yeah.
Because they vet everyone. And they make sure that everyone is up to par. And they're a pleasure to work with. So then good artists want to work with them again.
And they're transparent about everything?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
I think that's that transparency could solve a lot of problems.
Shout out. They're both musicians too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What bands are they playing?
I think they both have solo acts.
Cool.
Yeah. Julie's got a great country vibe. I've never seen Will play, but I know he's good.
What's the best venue in regards of to play in?
Oh, I mean, it depends. I was just talking to someone about this yesterday. So we kind of do this circuit that I've kind of tried to establish where we play like one main spot in every different little part of Austin. So like we only play like on Dirty, we only play at Friends Bar. That's it.
Yeah.
We don't play anywhere else.
It's a fun bar.
It's a great bar. And I think that like late night at Friends, 11 to 2 Saturday, that kind of thing is as fun of a vibe as any show I've ever
Oh
played.
my God, yeah.
Yeah, when it's like packed in there.
It's good energy.
Oh yeah, there's like 150 people and it's great energy. And then on West, we play at Lil Woodrow's. Sometimes we'll play at Rustic because I love Rustic, but really the spot that we play is with Lil Woodrow's.
Okay.
And that's such a fun vibe, and they are so nice, and they take such good care of the bands, and they just cultivate this really nice vibe, and they just let you do what you want and what you're good at. And we're actually playing there this Friday.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. So, if you're not busy, come by. And then, and if you're not busy, dear listener, you come by. But that's like on West, we love to play there. Rustic's really great. On the East side, we just played Austin Garden, and that was a great spot. There were so many people there because it was the first like nice Saturday of the year.
Yeah.
And we had an absolute
Packed
blast.
house.
Yeah, we played on like the Deep East side. We play at King B sometimes, which is cool.
I heard they were going through some growing pains.
Austin Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like with any venue, they're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, they're trying to figure it out. But the guy
Have they figured
it out? Doing things now is phenomenal. Like with all their booking.
Awesome.
It's a good friend of almost every musician in town named Andrew Gambrell. And he's just, I've known him since I was, shout out. No, I've known him since I moved here, basically. And he's just been like super nice, super cool dude. And he's super involved in the music scene. So then they for a while just kind of had a lot of turnover at the position and weren't getting things quite right. And then they got him, and he knows exactly who to hire for what things. He's a great guy, and he's really good at his job, and he's really connected into the scene because he's friends with everyone.
What'd you say his name was?
Andrew Gambrell.
Do you think AI could take over what Andrew does?
No, fuck
So
AI.
it's a very human interaction
it's
type
super
of
human.
job.
I also hate AI. Like as a rule.
It's kind of awesome, especially in Photoshop, when I really fuck something
Sure.
up. Oh my God, it saved my ass so many times. Don't tell my clients.
I could see that, but no, you can't do AI booking. That's so stupid. I'm sure there's AI tools that can help.
Yeah.
With,
explain to me the
automated payment things or stuff like that, but like, there's just no way that AI can replace something that needs like a human touch.
Explain to me the process of a booker and what it does, what they do.
Well, I'm not really a booker. I mean, I book for myself,
well,
but
okay.
So from my understanding, venues will hire certain people to be their like booking and talent manager, right? So that way it's not just like the bar GM who does everything, which they do at Friends,
So are these bookers on contracts, or are they?
I think they're on contracts.
Okay, so do they get a percentage of?
No, I think they get like a salary.
Okay, got it. All right.
Yeah, and so then the venue will say like, "This is our budget for like these nights. Will you find bands to fill this kind of thing?" And then they do, and then you as the artist go talk to the booker, and you get in nice with them. You prove you're good, or in my case, you just prove that you're nice and persistent and a little charming. And annoying enough that you won't go away.
Yeah. So what do you think bookers are looking for here in Austin? The good ones.
I mean, everyone's talented in Austin. I really do think that. So then it comes down to like probably a couple of you have to have some air of professionalism to you for sure. And you also have to have, something to offer that's unique-ish. Otherwise you can still get booked. But if you're a 4-piece band, that's 2 guitars and drums and a bass, and you do the same covers as everyone else the same way, then you can still get booked for shows and stuff, right? But you're just going to be filling in those kind of things. So like you have to have something that kind of sets you apart, that makes it like, oh, we like this band, not just as like the booker, but like the audience that's there. And that's really the most fickle thing I think in Austin, is because it's changed so much over the last few years, where people aren't going to bars anymore with the expectation of like, oh, this band's great, let's go listen to this band. They just go to bars, and sometimes bands are there.
Yeah.
Sometimes DJs are there, and I hate DJs. But the biggest thing that I think is the difference is that almost everyone you talk to, if you actually lay out the option for them, and it's like, do you care that there's a DJ here? Do you care that's a band here? Almost everyone will be like, well, it's cooler that there's a band. Yeah.
And doing like one of my,
what are we watching on the TV, by the way? So for those of you who don't know at home, behind us is a mute TV.
Yeah.
And it's not playing Family Guy clips and Subway Surfer reels like I requested. It is playing a cooking show.
It's David Chang's, I forget the name of the show, but there's bits, the narration's done by Anthony Bourdain.
It's a very long name for a show.
Yeah, I don't know the name of the show, but no, it's just something that I like to have a TV on the background just in case we lose pace, in case we lose ideas. So, and also
has that been an issue?
It also keeps people distracted. It
keeps me locked in. Yeah, is what's going on.
What the?
I would prefer.
I was gonna ask an important
Family
question.
Guy clips. So you like Family Guy?
I think they're okay. Hold on.
Do you like American Dad?
American Dad sucks. Family Guy's way better. Yeah, dude, it's not good.
You know what that is?
Angry.
That's how I know that you have not watched enough American Dad.
I don't need to watch.
You do.
I watched 2 episodes.
Hilarious. You watched 2 episodes?
I watched 2 episodes.
It's a 21 season show.
Yeah, that's gone on for too long.
I disagree.
It should have been canceled.
It keeps getting funnier.
It's
2. Actually hilarious. You can argue that Family Guy or The Simpsons has gone on too long, but they're stalwarts, and I love Family Guy.
What are bookers
Will
looking?
you stop trying to turn this back to music?
This
when
is
I
music.
clearly want to talk about.
I'm sorry. Whose podcast
animated
is
cartoon shows?
And they're so. We can talk about that in the next podcast that I design. It's the last question on the bookers. I promise,
Okay.
and then we'll move on. How are bookers finding bands? Are they going to shows themselves? Are they scrolling on the interwebs?
Yeah, that happens sometimes. I mean,
All
I
of the
definitely
above?
see people there, but like if you want to have a relationship with a booker,
Yeah.
in my experience, you have to take the initiative and you have to go talk to them and not just contact them because they get inundated with emails. Go figure out what shows they like to go to. A lot of them are musicians or they're super big fans, right? So go meet them and introduce yourself in person.
Yeah.
And don't be weird about it. And don't be like, I heard on the Jac's podcast that you're supposed to do this.
Whoa.
And they'll be like,
Oh my God.
it's actually Ramon's podcast. But anyways, I mean,
That'd be
that's
like-
the only way I've ever, this is a real thing. The only way I've ever gotten gigs in Austin, really, outside of a couple random things, is because I went to talk to someone in person.
Nice.
And I played, for the last 3 years, I've played over 200 shows a year. And they're not all
No
good.
big deal.
And I'm not saying that as in I've figured it out, but I figured something out, and I figured out enough to live doing it.
What color of Play-Doh tastes the best?
Green.
Green?
It's the best.
Why?
It just is.
What type of texture does it have?
Oh, they all got that good texture.
What did that video do for you? Besides stroke your ego.
Not like as much as people thought. So for those of you listening at home who don't know, I was in a viral video at the beginning of the year.
What's it
About
like to go
stealing Play-Doh.
viral on TikTok? That's the name of
am
this
not
podcast.
on TikTok
Or this episode.
to know how it did on TikTok.
I'm sure it did
Probably
quite
pretty well.
Yeah.
Apparently the last one I did with them also
What was
did well on
okay, so
TikTok,
how did
but-
this idea come to be?
Oh, okay, so I have friends. Shout out. They're called Cheese Parade. They are a sketch group in Philly. And one of the guys in it was an old bassist of mine from when I lived in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
And I knew the other guys just from, they were all like kind of involved in like the music artsy kind of scene where I lived in Philly because I lived in Manayunk. Shout out. And it was probably, I guess it would be last year I did the other video with them where I was just in town playing a gig and I was talking to my friend Brian, who's one of the guys, and I'm like, do you mind if I just crash at your place? Because he lives with another former drummer of mine. And the main guy in Cheese Parade, his name's Scott. And shout out Aaron because he's the drummer. He's the only guy I didn't mention. And Johnny lives there. Shout out Johnny. Anyways, I was just staying at their house. I had a gig. And they're like, yeah, we're just doing something in the morning. We're doing like this sketch thing. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And the comedian they were supposed to use didn't show up. And they were like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I'm like, I got nothing going on. I'll be in your video. So we did this other video with them, which was like this fake video game tutorial.
Okay.
That did pretty well. And then when I came back at the end of last year, beginning of this year, same sort of thing. I'm like, called Scott. I'm like, I'd love to be in another video. Last one did well. I'm like, are you doing anything? He's like, I have one idea. It's really stupid. And I'm like, great, I'm in. Whatever it is fine. And his idea was, like a heist style stealing Play-Doh, like a Kaiser Soze type thing. And I'm like, that's amazing. We'll do it. And then we did it. And it was super fun.
Oh.
And then it got like 10 million views on Instagram.
Yeah.
And that was cool. And the only concrete thing it's really done is it got me like 2,000 Instagram followers, but almost
nice.
none of that translated to music.
Right.
Which hurt my feelings a little.
Aw, Jack.
But like,
Without a K?
No, it's funny. I remember I've talked to some people about this because like it's just like a fun thing that I was in and I liked being a part of it, right? But I have a lot of comedian friends in town who would love to have like a viral video and try and do things to do that. And I wasn't trying and I got it.
Did they get jealous?
And then I don't think it's like that.
Like,
I mean, I'm
God,
sure
Jack
someone
got
out there
10 million views.
No, it's not. I mean, it sounds stupid,
But I don't
though,
get
right?
anything.
But but they would really care about that.
And they
But
probably benefit more.
Yeah, and I care less about that except for the fact that I if I got 10 million listens on a song, I would
make 5 cents from Spotify.
I'd make a nickel, but I would be ecstatic and so happy. So it was this weird thing where like when it happened, I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is going to trend. Am I going to start like people are going to listen to my music? And then no one did.
Oh, but in the back of your head.
And then I didn't even get, any like.
You didn't get Play-Doh deals?
I shouldn't say that. I got one DM from someone who was a musician in France, and she was like, I thought your video was so funny. Hopefully it translates to people liking your music. She's like, because I just listened and I like it a lot. And I'm like, that's one.
Worth it. Yeah, that's all I need. That's all you need. Just one.
That's how it's affecting me. I have one fan in France.
Okay. But still, 2,000 followers, that's pretty good. That's that's
not,
opportunities.
Yeah.
All from saying yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it is. Just be funny and say yes.
People
like funny.
That's true. What else was I going to ask you? What do you want to talk about?
Nah, it's up to you, man. What's going on with the... Whatever. What's going on with you, Ramon? How are you?
Yeah, so I have a shoot.
How's the podcast?
It's going good. Shorts are where it's at. YouTube shorts, and then that could translate like, hey, watch this short clip, and then go to the full episode. So that's been working well.
Is the thing on Spotify too?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's all
Spotify, YouTube.
What do you use to put Spotify's on?
What?
To put podcasts on like Spotify or stuff?
You just use the audio.
No. I know that. I'm saying like, so for music, you use like DistroKid or CD Baby usually, like for independent like publication distribution. But like, what do you use for podcasts? Do you use any service like that? Or
no.
is it like,
do I need to? Should I?
No.
I have no idea.
I'm
open to learn. I'm just uploading
I
directly
wouldn't do
to
that.
Spotify.
It's just that's just something for music where like you upload it. Basically, there's these which isn't always the best way to do it. I'm not saying this is smart because they take a percentage of nothing, but like you
end up owing them money.
No, for like CD Baby or DistroKid, basically they act as online publishers and distributors. So you upload your music that you want to upload, and they will put it on Apple Music and Spotify and everything for you, so you don't have to go do like 12 of them.
I mean, my main point is just trying to grow the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Podcast or
we've watched this one before.
Maybe.
Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I saw him do this exact thing.
It was probably on one of his other restaurants.
No, it had radishes, and I thought the radishes were strange. I mean, not strange. I don't like radishes, like raw.
Yeah, they put it on like street tacos. I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't get that. That adds nothing. Just take it off. And I love street tacos. I love the simplicity of like the onion and the cilantro.
It's easy,
right?
Yeah.
But like, what's the radish doing for me? Is it even that healthy?
I don't really. It doesn't really add flavor. Maybe a crunch aspect to it.
Chat. Do we like radishes?
I don't know. I don't.
Do you golf? There's golf clubs in the corner for anyone who can't see.
I do golf.
Are you good?
Back in December I was a 5 handicap.
Wow.
I think now that has trended very, very upwards because I haven't played since December 7th.
I haven't played since 2023, I think.
Oh, well.
I'm all right. Here's my thing with golf. So I grew up.
Careful. We're treading very, very sensitive waters. So speak politely.
Here's the thing
about golf.
I like golf. I grew up as like a super small ADD kid that my dad tried to get to golf a lot.
You don't say.
And yeah, believe it or not. And so, I always lost interest by like hole 7. And there's so much you have to focus on with golf, right? But you can't actually think of any of it. You got to bend your knees and you got to keep your back straight and you got to, keep your eye on the ball, but don't pull your head up. And it's, it's a million little things that once you don't think about any of them, you're good. However, I did learn how to golf. I just never learned how to be good at it. And now that I'm older and chilled a little bit, I'm actually an okay golfer. But my whole thing is I'm never going to like if I play with you or like Nico's a great golfer, right? I'll be
the decider on that.
So if I were to play with you guys, I wouldn't come anywhere close to winning, but I would not slow us down. Like I'm big like pace of play.
Sure.
I'm the vibes guy on the golf
It's okay
course.
to suck, but suck fast.
No, exactly. And I don't suck. I hit some good balls.
What was the last score you put up?
I mean, I don't think I've ever actually played 18 holes.
Oh, okay.
Here's my thing. I am confident that if I locked in, I could get under 100.
Oh, baby. I have a bet going with a guy that he's not going to break 87 by the end of the year.
It's a very good
he's
score.
He's a plus 15 handicap.
Yeah, so I'm plus 25.
So
it's all right. Look, you've played probably with a lot of good people. Are they all enjoyable to spend 5 hours with?
Most good golfers are very humble. It's I don't know. I never really played with a bad golfer. Usually when I go play by myself, I walk so I don't have to sit in the cart with a stranger, and then I just get to.
Where do you put the speaker?
I don't listen. I don't listen to music when I'm walking by myself.
Oh wait. Sorry, that was allergies.
I typically just when I walk, I exchange pleasantries on the tee box and green, and that's about it. So.
Well, that's cool. So here's my next question for you, Ramon. I noticed down here.
Yeah.
You actually have 2 books that I've read, and I love them both. And they're very different. So I'm going to bring them out for the chat.
Yeah.
So the first one is The Alchemist.
Yep.
Great book.
Yeah.
Great book. Very, go West young man style. Love it. Very
inspirational. I need to reread that again. So
do I. I love that too. And then Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. A wonderful book of poems.
Yeah.
And there's one I wanted to read with you.
Oh,
no freaking way is it actually the one. I just opened up. So there's Shel Silverstein, obviously children's poems, but he really is a good poet.
He is.
And just because it's meant for children doesn't mean it's not enjoyable for everyone.
What country artist covered one or did one of his poems?
Who?
Come on.
Was it Waylon Jennings?
No. The other guy.
Willie Nelson?
No. Other guy.
No. Oh, Johnny Cash?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Boy
that.
Named Sue.
Oh, yeah.
Poems.
You're right.
Anyways,
all right,
go on.
So there's one poem that literally lives rent free in my head. And I actually just opened up to it. And I'm not kidding.
Invention?
Yeah, invention. I've done it. Guess what I've done? Invented a light bulb that plugs into the sun. The sun is bright enough. The bulb is strong enough. But there's only one thing wrong. The cord ain't long enough.
Damn.
Yeah. That's lived rent-free in my head for 20 years now. That's a cathartic moment. That's how you know nothing happens on accident.
Who was your introduction, or who introduced you to Shel Silverstein?
Oh, probably second grade teacher. Or
really?
Like that. Yeah,
that's some pretty cool teachers. My sister.
They were all over school. Every classroom had Shel Silverstein.
What year did you graduate? High school?
2012.
Okay, so you're a little bit younger than me.
How old are you?
I'm 37.
Oh, you look 40.
Oh, thanks. It's the aging cream. I really want to get older.
You're dying for that AARP membership.
Yeah, I really want to hit that Social Security.
Yeah, I also from The Alchemist have something else that lives rent free in my head, and I read The Alchemist probably 2, maybe 3 years ago.
Okay,
and
I always carry a notebook of paper
I always have these
and books.
notebooks when I go around Austin just to write things down so I don't forget.
Okay.
And I have that one. That's my planner.
All right.
And every year I get a new planner, but that's because it's the only way I write gigs. I don't do it on my phone.
You don't even do it. There's a really handy app called Calendar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't like it. So ever since I read The Alchemist, and I also thought it was super inspirational, on random pages in my thing I would write, "Do not be afraid." Because that's the big theme of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is do not be afraid.
Don't be a little bitch.
Yeah, don't be a bitch about it.
Do not be
and
afraid.
It says, don't be a bitch about it.
Cool.
Yeah, do not be afraid. And it's just, you would be surprised at because I'll go through cycles where I'll write in it a lot sometimes.
Yeah. And then
9
not
months,
another word.
I'll write 3 pages kind of thing.
Right.
And I have a separate journal at my house, and I don't write as much in that as I do in a structured way with the graphics, or on graph paper, not with the graphics. But you would be surprised at the amount of times that I really needed to hear that, and I flip over the page and it says, "Do not be afraid."
Okay.
Which is kind of the whole theme of The Alchemist, right? Is that you are where you are when you're supposed to be there.
Yeah. You're I don't know. That's not the universe speaking, but no, you're right. Where do you take your inspiration from when it comes to writing music? Life events?
Mostly from other people's songs that I like, but I don't think they'll know that I copied them.
Okay.
No.
Wilco?
Huh?
Do you like Wilco?
Actually, I love Wilco. I was just kidding about the stealing thing, but I love Wilco.
You know, Grayson.
Do you like Wilco?
I think they're okay. I couldn't name you one song.
Okay.
But that night that I saw you Rustic Tap, Grayson did an excellent cover of "Toxic" by Britney Spears.
Yeah, it was really good.
Holy shit!
We did harmonies too on it.
I knew. No, you guys crushed it.
We never practiced it.
How did that come to be?
I don't know.
Did he just like pull out a left field?
I don't know. I just started playing with it. Shout out Grayson Turner.
Yeah.
Very talented guy. Him and I write some songs together. He's a cool dude.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, one of the songs we played that night was a song we've been working on.
Was I there for it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know when you snuck out.
I think I spent like 45 minutes there.
Yeah. So I don't know. But either way.
Yeah, where does moments of inspiration come for songwriting?
I don't know. So my thing with songwriting is it's different for everyone. The show's called The Mind of the Chef. It just came up, by the way. For anyone at home.
How do
who
you
was still
live your
wondering.
life? Jesus.
Well,
I mean that in a great way. Because
right now, I got a Vyvanse prescription that I hadn't had.
I might be hitting you up.
So I took ADD medicine for like 15 years and then didn't take it for like 2 years and then just got it again last week.
Okay.
Because I felt like I wasn't getting a lot done. And I have pretty, what's the word? I want to say severe because it's ADD. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And severe is something that should be reserved for like something like debilitating or painful or something.
Maybe.
And, anyways, but the ADD is not great. So.
Do you write songs about
big.
ADD?
No.
You should.
No, I keep.
There's a lot of Americans that have it.
That's true. Maybe that's maybe that's it.
No one's ever written a song about ADD.
It's true. But anyways, so I'm getting used to this Vyvanse prescription. I also just bought a coffee maker for the first time in my life, so I'm unstoppable. I was a big tea guy forever. I was never really that into coffee, but there is something about coffee that really just like
it's a good feeling.
Zooms you in way more than tea does.
It's a really good.
But tea's
feeling.
better for my voice. I should.
Okay, maybe you could do both.
Some coffee?
No, I'm good. I've had.
You can come to my house and have some. I made it a few hours.
Is
ago.
it a pour over? I only do pour overs.
No,
it's
like a
drip?
$20 drip maker. God, it was the cheapest on Amazon.
No, where does inspiration come from songwriting?
We're still on this.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I didn't answer any of the questions.
You did not.
So that's fair. All right, so here's the thing with songwriting. You can wait for moments of inspiration, and they'll come. And they come a couple times a year for me, where I'm just like, and this is it, and it just pours out, right? Or, you can be noodling around a little and be like, oh, that's good, or something like that, or you can get it from a jam. But the big thing with songwriting is if you want it to be a part of your, like, career, you got to treat it like a job to some respect. So you have to have some kind of structure around it. And it's not that everything that comes from that will be good. It's just the fact that some things will, and if you put those practices in place, it means when you do have a moment of inspiration that you want to capture, you know how to do it in a semi-organized way. Yeah. So I play at Friends Mondays and Thursdays, noon to 3. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m., I have an alarm that goes off that plays Allison by Elvis Costello. Shout out Allison. And it just says, shouldn't you be writing? And it's kind of how I bully myself into sitting down and writing. And I've fallen off of it a little bit the last month or so. But now that I say it on the podcast, I have to get back into it.
Yeah, that's like that's the Catholic way of going. You're punishing yourself to do a job.
I'm shaming myself.
Yeah, shaming yourself.
Yeah, we're not about the punishment. We're just about the
shame.
The shame.
Shame.
May I please have a beer?
Yeah.
Thank you. And we'll be right back.
Sparkling water.
And we're back.
What?
Live with Ramon. So Ramon, how long have you been a podcast host?
Since 2022. I used to do this at a brewery, and then it became really elaborate, and I couldn't do it anymore because it was so elaborate. I was getting other jobs, and I couldn't really do it anymore. And the guys at Nomadic Brewing,
Oh,
they were the ones who allowed me to do it in their brewery.
I heard they're nice.
They're very nice. Daniel
Yeah.
Trzynski, I hope I said his last name right, and Bryce. Two brothers. Yeah, they're awesome. And then...
Just one name, Bryce, like Prince.
Oh, no. And then took a break. So I didn't really have a place to do it. I couldn't make it logistically, I couldn't make it happen with workflow. And then I built this. And I was like, we need to do this more often. Have a place now. I need to provide something back to the guest. So now I'm offering like headshots and beer or Waterloos. And yeah, so now I'm just trying to have good conversations, network.
No one else needs to know this is 9 a.m.
Build relationships. It is not 9 a.m. It's probably like 2:15.
You're right. Sorry. It's definitely
Yeah.
the afternoon when we're drinking. It's not 9 a.m. In case my mom watches this. She
But
might.
she better.
Yeah.
Your parents were here. Were they here last weekend?
They were.
How long were they in town for?
Oh, they were in town for a little bit. Give me 1 second. I don't know what came over me. Sorry.
Carbonation.
Anyways, the reason they were in town was they were at a dairy conference in San Antonio for a few days.
Are they cheesemakers by chance?
We are actually milk people.
Oh, okay. So you sell the product for the cheesemakers to make the cheese.
No, we're not a farm. We are the processing and distribution side of dairy. Shout out United Dairy.
Oh my god.
Regional
Do they need a videographer?
dairy. Listen. We'd love a dairy sponsorship. I welcome any dairy industry that wants to invest.
Resolute Media wants to work with anybody and everybody that has money.
Did you say Rizzler Media?
Resolute. Sorry.
That makes more sense.
I don't
That is the name
enunciate.
of your company.
So they were in town. Go ahead.
Would you work with the Rizzler if presented the opportunity?
The Rizzler?
Yeah.
Who's the Rizzler? Diddy?
What do you mean?
Who's
what do you mean?
Who's a
The
Rizzler?
Rizzler?
Who's a Rizzler? I have no idea. I'm not hip with your youngin vernacular.
I mean,
who's a Rizzler?
now I have to be. He's just like an 8-year-old boy.
Then no, I don't want to work with
Everyone
minors.
knows who the Rizzler. You're making me seem weird
You
because
are weird.
you don't know who the Rizzler is.
I mean,
you've never seen this fat little Italian chub.
oh
before.
no, I've never seen him.
You've
before.
never seen that. Okay,
No.
well now I seem weird. Sure.
You are.
You've never seen.
I want nothing to do with that. How do we get from dairy farming working?
I mean, I do have to spell it out for you. The Rizzler is You've never seen that video of him dressed up like Black Panther?
No, I don't.
All right, Ramon, we're done here.
Finally, yes. I don't know what to do, but thanks.
Contractually, I'm obligated.
Okay.
To stay. I don't know. Now you make me. Here's the thing. Anyone who doesn't know the Rizzler then puts an unfair burden on the other person to explain what this is.
Well, that's your problem.
Because it really sounds like, oh, you don't know this child online? But I promise you, he's very famous.
Are you allowed within a certain distance of schools?
How do you know I live near a middle school?
Did you have to register to live there?
No.
Okay, good. All right, just checking. I didn't do a background check on you like I did everyone else.
Well,
like
they didn't background check.
apparently Nico's wanted in a lot of
That's why I had to
places.
leave Canada. Anyways, so I'm guessing you don't know AJ or Big Justice either, the Costco guys.
No.
You don't know the boom. Boom.
No.
We bring the boom.
Nah, man.
That's what we did. All right, let's just move
I have to
on.
follow the likes of you.
Yeah, so my
and-
parents were in town and we own a dairy company up north and they were in town for that and the weather was terrible and my mom doesn't like Texas and doesn't like how far it is from home. I think that's the main part.
Aren't there direct flights?
It's still far.
What, like 3-hour plane ride?
It's like 5.
Okay.
I also drive home at least once or twice a year.
Oh man.
And that's far.
Yeah.
That's 22
You don't
hours.
complain about that, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Mom?
so they were in town from like Thursday and then they left Sunday.
Your dad was at Rustic Tap, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that show actually happened Wednesday night, not last week or 2 weeks ago, as you said.
No, I said last week. It was 1 week ago today. Today's Wednesday.
Okay, you did say that. I don't have to fact check that. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I know. That's when they do the songwriter rounds on Wednesdays. Yeah, they had a good time here. My mom was pretty tired. She she's like not a like hotel fine dining all the time kind of thing. And they did a lot of that in San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
And that's just not her vibe. Like, they even stayed with me on Thursday, and which is funny if you know, like, the house I live in. Because she's like, I'm just so sick of hotels. Can we just, like...
Yeah, can I just want to sleep in a shack?
Well, they stole my bed. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to sleep.
But she literally was like, this was so much better than staying in a hotel. I'm like, I know the experience was not better, but I understand. Like, I get it a little bit. You want it to feel a little more like home and not have, another hotel breakfast, and they just had like yogurt and English muffins at my house.
There's nothing better than staying in a cold hotel room. You drop it down to 60, you get under the covers, you get on your phone, you're getting on TV. It's great. I don't know what she was.
It's just she got tired. Look, they're 60. They
Did you make her some soup
after a little? No, they didn't get any soup.
Damn. You didn't even make your parents soup?
No,
you
I
made me
soup yesterday, though, for...
I saw that. You made a big batch, right?
Oh, yeah. It was delicious. Are we going to talk soups now?
No, we're not. That's the last thing I want to talk about.
That's the only thing I care about.
See, what time is it? We've been at least over an hour.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We haven't talked about anything.
We talked about a lot. I learned a few things about bookers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but my parents were in town.
They were in town.
Yeah, they came and saw us at Austin Garden.
What?
My whole band except for Kendall.
Yeah, when he invited your entire media team.
It's true.
What?
And that includes
that's
you.
How I know. I was there. What's next? What's coming up for the springtime, summertime? What are you excited about?
What's coming up on my screen time? Well, I'm trying to beat the Elite Four right now in Pokemon Emerald Legacy. You wanted to see my team?
No, I don't.
That's what was
I really don't.
Oh, it's okay. It'll take only a moment.
I don't.
So for anyone who doesn't know, who is part of the Pokemon ROM hack community, there's a great ROM hack out there called Emerald Legacy, made by Smith Plays Pokemon. Shout out. Just meant to kind of improve the game we all loved as a kid. So right now I have a Grumpig and a Machamp. You can zoom in, Jamie. A Pelipper, a Sceptile, obviously, good starter, a Starmie, and a Donphan. Because Donphan evolves from what I think is the cutest little Pokemon called Fanfi. You know Fanfi?
I don't. Please explain.
Okay. It's a cute little elephant Pokemon. It's blue. I'll just pull it up for those at home. Can we clip that on the screen? Fine. I'll just pull it up on my phone. Look how cute.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's very cute. No, it's cute. It's not cool. This one is cute. Donphan is cool.
Okay.
You don't even know
what. Where can people? What are you excited about in the spring? Other than what are you excited about in regards to music? Like, what are you doing that's cool? Are you playing any festivals, any shows?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we recorded a whole album at the end of last year, and that's going to come out at some point.
Awesome.
I did an EP with my friends in Nashville.
Okay.
In December, so that'll come out first. So
Very
probably
nice.
in March we'll have the first song off that. The EP will come out after.
Nice.
By that point, we should have a couple of the singles from the album ready, and the album should be out either. It should be out by July 22nd.
Okay. Cool. That's
or
awesome,
maybe
man.
in the fall. Depending on if we have like a good strategy that's working and we need to elongate it or shorten it.
Is this your first album?
That stuff. No, second album.
Okay, cool.
Made an album in 2023 called New Texas Groove.
Did Jack get his groove back?
Yeah. Does this not answer your question?
All right. What about summertime? What are you doing in summertime?
Summertime? Oh God, I haven't thought that far.
Heard the living's easy.
I mean, we'd go to. Yeah, that's right. We I don't know. I normally go up north for a little bit for the summer.
Why? Because you can't tolerate the Texas heat.
Hot. Yeah, dude.
Bitch,
it's like
dude. You gotta wear it. You gotta wear it. You gotta wear that
Sucks.
swamp ass like a proud badge of honor.
So, anyways, I go up north for a little bit, and we try and do a little tour. We did a little tour last year. 2 years ago, we did one.
Well, that's fun.
Ironically, we didn't do one the year we released the album. So maybe we should plan that out better. The
You
problem
should.
is I hate
bookers?
No, I love bookers. I love some bookers. I love the ones I work with. Shout out.
But not Tammy. Tammy, you cool
I don't
girl.
work with Tammy, and I don't know her.
Yeah, but we don't like her.
Yeah, we don't like her. No one really likes her. I don't really need her for anything. Here's the thing. I wouldn't be saying any
What are you doing in the summer? Let's
I wouldn't
disregard
be saying
this.
any of that if all of my friends who worked with her hadn't had a story about like getting screwed over by her.
Yeah. That sucks.
So.
We're outing her.
Yeah.
We're making music.
Also, she works with the only bar that's ever stiffed me in Austin.
Can you say that on camera?
Parlor Room. It's on Rainy Street.
Parlor Room.
It's the worst bar you'll ever go to.
Is it Parlor
Let
Yard?
me ask you. No, I love Parlor and Yard. They're wonderful.
Oh, yeah. It's okay. That's
No,
right.
Parlor
There's
and
two.
Yard is
Yeah.
wonderful. They also work with Pearl Snap. Parlor and Yard is a great bar, and the staff is wonderful, and I love Parlor and Yard. And it's unfortunate that down on Rainy Street, there's another bar called Parlor Room that is awful. Terrible ownership, terrible management. Only place that's ever stiffed me pay in Austin. In 4 years, they're the only spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Well,
But
hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I mean, it was 4 years ago, but I hold a grudge, apparently. So.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'd love to keep talking.
No, we can't. Even though this is your show, I got to go.
That's fair.
Yeah, so thank you so much for doing this.
Okay, well, wait, hold on. You said if there was anything else I wanted to talk about.
What do you have of substance to talk about? Of substance? Of substance. What do you have to talk about? Well,
you didn't even ask me about any of my songs.
Because you didn't give me a fucking chance. We talked about at the NFL for a good 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was
a good combo. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't know you're so passionate about the Steelers.
Do you like any of my songs?
I haven't heard any of your songs.
You've heard
because you haven't put out the album yet.
Yeah, but I play them.
Is your album on Spotify?
Which album? The new one?
The latest one, the 2023 album.
Yeah, of course it's on Spotify. New Texas
Groove. The one that you didn't go on tour for. No, I haven't.
It's hurtful.
I haven't even listened to all of Nico's songs, and I listened to them on repeat. 4. Yeah, has he put out an album yet?
No, he has Train Song.
Yeah.
And then he has the 2 off the EP.
Yeah. Blame's coming out. Oh, I shouldn't say that.
Blame's coming out.
I listened to, I don't think even
Blame's good. It's got a great intro.
Grayson just put out his songs.
Have you not listened to all of Nico's songs? There's only 3. Grayson's got great music too. He had a song that just came out.
Yeah,
But we're here to talk about me. You haven't listened to my album yet? Or any of my EPs? You know what I'll do for you, Ramon?
Hey, you know.
There's actually a playlist called Definitive No-K Songs. Because I may or may not have a fairly big discography because I have 6 EPs and an album. So I made this playlist to make it easy. It's 12 songs that are the 12 best songs. 12 to 15. It's called 12 Definitive No-K Songs.
You know what you should do?
Send it to you right now.
Well, that. But you should create a playlist. You are going to do it. I can't do this. This is not going to work out.
Yeah. No, I'll keep talking to the audience. So make sure you go online and hit that new Texas Groove. Did you send it to a stranger?
No.
Did you send it to an old girlfriend?
No.
It's possible.
Oh, that was weird. I don't know. I blanked out right there.
No, you're okay.
Oh, I did get it.
Back.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, you got it.
I meant to be the one number off guy.
Ramon. Anyways.
That link didn't work.
Well, yeah, it's because you have to text me back if I just send a random link. It's like a Apple thing to avoid scammers.
Oh, wow. That is... I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's smart.
Interesting.
Yeah, if you just get a random link, it's not clickable till you respond back.
Okay.
Now you know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Apple, for having our backs. All right. Well,
Carson.
You like movies?
I think they're okay.
Yeah, they're fine.
What's a good movie that you watch that you're excited to watch?
Recently?
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith holds up so well. I've been telling everyone about it for like 2 weeks, and it's not like a new movie, but it really is great. Attack of the Clones is really good too.
Did it, Hans?
Phantom Menace we talked about this briefly when we were setting up, but plot's good. Liam Neeson's great. Darth Maul's cool. It is very slow and then a lot right at the end. So I understand why people don't like that one as much, but at least they're better than the sequels. My favorite movies ever, though, are the Lord of the Rings movies. I think they're perfect.
They're cool. We should throw one on, and we should do how
a podcast while we watch it.
Mystery 5000 Feet or whatever it's called.
Yeah, except I would be like, shh.
Yeah, we should. That's how
we're watching.
Okay. That's all I got.
You can't talk over Fellowship.
I have a. Yes, you can. You do
Okay,
whatever
maybe
you want.
Fellowship, but you were going to talk over
Two
Towers or
you
Return
can't.
of the King.
Return of the King is just brutal to go through. It is long. It's very long.
Return of the King is the best one.
And also like the entire time you could just rode a fucking eagle.
No, they couldn't have rode an eagle. The eagles.
That's all you could have done.
The eagles are sentient beings. They don't answer to any master, Ramon.
Oh man, wow! Just
you can't
kinda
that's crazy. That's
wrote
like
that
the
into-
whole time they could have just gotten Gondor to go fight. They had to convince them and work up to it.
Tolkien was just like, God, I really put something together, and I don't know how to get out of this fucking story. So let me just eagles. Yes,
not
that's what
true at all. I know that you're like rage baiting me right now, and it's working. That's not how it works.
I think it's how it works.
It's simply not how it works.
That's how the movie
the
ended.
Eagles could have gotten shot down before that. The only reason why it was so like they had the Nazgul, they had dragons to fight the Eagles. Like that's the thing. They were distracted at the time. That was the whole point of like the like siege at the Black Gate was to draw Sauron away and all his forces away from like
how many
inside Mordor, so that way Sam and Frodo could get up to the tower. Like if the Eagles had just tried to ride in, they would have gotten attacked by the Ringwraiths and the Nazgul and all of Sauron's forces. They tried to do that from the beginning. It's ridiculous. And also the Eagles don't the Eagles are good, but they don't really have like any lot in the politics of Middle Earth.
How many Nazgul do you think Sauron had?
9.
9. Okay, so he had 9.
And there were 3 Eagles.
And how big do you think the entirety of Middle Earth is? Pretty big, right?
Are you saying like maybe they could have found a different route because they have to go to Mount Doom,
right?
Like it's a singular point. So then, like you could say, oh, they can come from the south.
They can come from the east. They could come from anywhere.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if they're all
and
waiting
all they gotta
at
do
the
is
one
bloop,
singular point.
Drop in the ring. That's all you got to do.
No, it's not an open volcano.
It is an open.
It's not an open top volcano. No, it's a cavern. You have to walk in.
And
it's not an open top.
Sacrifice to Frodo.
Volcano.
Just hey, there it is. Walk in.
Yeah, I agree. You could have sacrificed Frodo, but not in the way you're thinking.
I'm just saying. Return of the King was really long.
It is long, but it's great. It's worth all 4 hours extended edition. Yes, it is.
Just like this podcast, it's worth every minute. All right,
it is
dude,
worth every minute.
I have a show to cover tonight. What are you doing tonight?
What am I doing? I have a date tonight.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Solid. All right, this has been fun.
Why, thank you.
How fucking dare you?
All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. If you liked this episode, share it with a friend, a family member, a coworker, anyone who you think might be interested in these working professionals, whether it be a musician or a defense lawyer or a paramedic or gym owners. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting people out there, and kind of want to talk to them all. So, thank you. God bless.